1, 2, 3. Etc. Just that was continuing on from last time, the exercise based on exercise 1 from the hand and piano book, adapted to the D melodic minor scale, which we wanted to use over a D flat altered 7 chord. This was all from before. I did it again just now because I couldn't play it last week. I'm slightly better at it this week. I had the metronome at 65, but it was only on beats 2 and 4, my favourite way to use a metronome most of the time. So essentially I'm up to 130 beats a minute for that. I underestimated that exercise. It's actually really awkward down the bottom with this inside-out picking and stuff, but I'm sticking with it, once again, on the premise that practicing awkward stuff makes everything else a little easier. Okay, that was that. I'm still continuing with 251s this week. Different 251 this time though. Last time we had a minor 7, which we could voice with a I think I voiced it like that last time. 1 flat 3 7 9 on the D. We made a G13, 1 7 3 and 13, and I think we did a major 9, 1 3 major 7 and 9. So if you haven't checked that out, these all go in order. Anyway, I want to introduce just one more scale today, and a couple of different voicings, different chord actually. I'm going to take this D minor 7, which most people, everyone knows that voicing. This time I want to do a D minor 7 flat 5, which is a pretty cool voicing. What I want to do today though is voicings that you can do when you've got a bass player. So they're called rootless. You don't need to use the root. And I could do this one, flat 5. Always, it's still got the minor 7 and the minor 3rd. Flat 5th there. I want to add the 11th. This minor 7 chord, it's way different to the minor 7 flat 5. Some people call it half diminished. It's almost in a family on its own was the way it was described to me when I learnt it. Oftentimes you can do one or the other. It really depends on the melody note if you're backing a singer, but sometimes they're interchangeable, sometimes they're not. But minor 7 flat 5, the voicing I actually want to do today on a D minor 7, I want to start here with the flat 5 on the 6th fret of the D string. I still want to keep a minor 7, but instead of I'll show you what I mean. That's with the flat 5 7 3. If I play the root here, that's the sound of the chord, and a lot of people like to add the 11th, which I'm going to put on the 3rd fret of the E string. I sort of like that voicing. What I like even more is dropping that 3rd to a 9th, which is a bit more awkward to play. I like that, so it's just another voicing to know. You can use that. If you look at the structure of that voicing, you could say it's an A flat major 7 sharp 5 over D. It's oftentimes my go-to voicing for D half diminished. Now for this G I want to do the same thing. Instead of our standard G13 voicing, I want to leave out the root. Once again, start here on the 7th, 3rd, this is the dominant chord. Still got the 13th. I'm going to put the flat 9 here, which would sound like that with the bass player playing the root. The reason I want to use this flat 9 chord today is I want to use a different scale over it, and I'll just complete the chord sequence anyway. I'm going to go to a C minor as a 1 chord today, and what I'm going to do is, instead of having the root, once again I'm going to keep my 7th, minor 3rd. I'm going to put the 5th in this time, but what I'm also going to do is put the 11th on the bottom. So it's like a suspended minor. So I'm just introducing these as different options for 2-5-1s. So you end up with this. Once again, that would be in the key of C. So in the key of F, you'd start on a G. G, half diminished, C7, excuse me. Hello? Darling, can you call me back? I'm making one of these videos. In fact, can I call you back in about 10-15 minutes? Excuse me? Oh, okay. I'll open the door in a second. I'm making one of these videos, so I'll let you know in a sec. Okay. Sorry about that. I'll edit this out. Or not. So, yeah, in the key of F, we've got G half diminished, C7 flat 9, and I'm doing this for my F minor. It's a suspended minor, or minor 11, however you want to call it. And once again, in the key of B flat, you'd start it on C. This one's a bit stretchy down here. C half diminished, F 7 flat 9, and B flat minor 11. So you get the idea. Now the thing with this, let's go back to D half diminished. The go-to scale turns out to be F melodic minor for me. Some people use different ones. Sometimes that 9th won't work, but a lot of times it will. It just turns out that in relation to D half diminished, the F is the 3rd, the G is the 11th, A flat is the flat 5, B flat is the 6th, C is the 7th, and D is the tonic. So all those ways that you played that, that's another application for that melodic minor scale. For the G, 7 flat 9, today we're going to use the half step, whole step scale. So this is just bread and butter for a lot of players. It turns out it's got 8 notes, so all you do is go half step, whole step, half step, half step, whole step. Sorry, starting again. G. Half, whole, half, whole, half, whole, half. Really useful scale. It's what they call symmetrical. It's got all these structures in it that make it useful for pattern sort of stuff. The first way I've got to practice it is I just looked this up on the internet. Just go down 1 and up a 4th. Same thing. So starting on G, go down a whole tone, up a perfect 4th, down a whole tone, up a perfect 4th, down 1, up a perfect 4th, down 1, up a perfect 4th. You end up with this. That's a and then the same on the way back. So once again, if I do that with triplets, eighth note triplets, let's see if I can play it straight away. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one way to practice it. There's triads contained within this scale, I should mention. The other thing is that the notes in the G, some people call it diminished blues scale, are the exact same notes as if you started on B flat, D flat or E. And A flat's got the same as B, D and F, and A's got the same notes as C, E flat and F sharp. So it means you only have to learn 3 of these. They take a bit of getting around, but within them, say this first one here, you've got a G major triad contained in that scale. You've got a G minor triad, and the same goes for, you've got a B flat major triad, a B flat minor, D flat major and minor, and E major and minor triad. So you can do all sorts of things. Hi, I'm making a video, I'm not going to stop. You can do all sorts of things that combine those. For instance, I could just alternate a G triad and a D flat triad, and it sounds sort of... That's just one example of that. And then over our minor 11th chord, can you pick that up please? I'm going to have to edit all this out.
Hello? Yeah.
Can I call back? I'm making a video.
You're going to call you back. Alright.
In this minor 11th chord, just use the Dorian mode again at this stage. B flat major scale. So that's basically all I wanted to do today. There's a bunch of voicings and scales to use over them. Just 1 more 2 5 1. See how you go with that.